Welcome back to Alchemy Factory. My name is Niklaus, and we are continuing here with the series. There's only a few steps left because what I want to go as the final step is the soul, the main quest we have over on the right hand side. Submit one soul. That means we have to go all the way down here to make one soul, and well, that's expensive. Let's have a look at what this one is and then break it down to what the stuff we need to do before we can actually get there. So we can see that we need all 6 relics, and we got the first 4 of them, so that's okay. So we need 2 more relics. We need the Mercury and we need the Luna. Then we need 25 perfect diamonds, not a problem, already got that. We need 5 of the Eternal Essence, which we don't have, and then we have 5 World cores, which we already have a lot of. So the Eternal Essence is the Philosopher's Stone, which is the 3 gemstones combined, plus 15 resonant essences. We're not going to make this like a consistent build, so we basically have to think about this as we need 5 of these, that means we need 5 of these, that means we need 75 resonant crystals, and we can see that what this cost, yeah, we'll just get that one done. So this is not a big deal. The big deal will be the Luna here, which isn't actually that big of a deal. If you look at it, we can see that it's steel, bronze, copper, and silver. Those are already easily done. So it's only like the gold, which is, well, honestly just money, and then the moon tier, which is coming from up here. So that's the one we have to do. But that's like the next step. The other one we need here is so the Luna is not actually that big of a deal, I think. But the Mercury is a big deal. Okay, let me just see how we're making money here. 5, that's not many we've sold of these. Okay, this is not good that we are not selling this many of this. Okay, and then we can see our expenses. So this looks nice, but if we look at our expenses, it looks kind of daunting because, yep, that one we're going to take a look at. We are making money, but we're not making a fortune. But we are accumulating really valuable resources. Okay. So the big issue here is going to be the Mercury. So let me start on here, looking at the Mercury. So I started sort of making designs and look at it and go, there's no way we're going to make one of these every 5 minutes. That would be lovely, but no way. Let's take every 10 minutes. So let's say we put in 10 per minute. So I started making turquoise, malachite, and topaz in 10 per minute, which shouldn't be a big deal. And I also thought, Obsidian is also not a big deal. And then we got to Lapis Lazuli and Quicksilver, and that will be our focus. So the first thing I did was just tinker with some builds, like simple builds for turquoise. This is a simple build. Remember, all these builds are available to patron supporters. I'm not going to go through it because it's just basically refinement of builds we've already done. So they are also available. This one is the topaz build we built last time. So that's 9.6. That's going to be rounded off to 10. Then we have a malachite build. We found a really nice malachite cauldron build with copper ingots, salt, and coal. The salt we're getting from somewhere else, so that's actually easy. So this one's also making more than we need. So basically, the 3 of those are fine. Then the stuff that we're missing is the Obsidian, which is not that bad, the Lapis Lazuli, which is absolutely atrocious, and the Quicksilver, which is bad. Let me go over here and show you something that I have built, which is the reason why we're spending so much money. This thing here is a meteorite grinder, you can say. It uses 20 gold to get 1 meteorite, which is ridiculously expensive. But it takes, you can see this one is 0.04. That means that there's 1,000 ticks in this. And it takes 25 minutes to grind through it. What we will get during this one, we'll get 1 ruby, 1 sapphire, 1 emerald. You can see the emerald is 7 gold in itself. We'll get 7 of the adamants, which is the same as 3.5 diamonds, which are each 100 silver each. We get 30 obsidian, so we already have a way to make obsidian. If we look at obsidian and say this is, we get 30 of these every 3 minutes, so it's a little bit more than 1 per minute. We get shattered crystal, which is a really important and valuable thing for crafting in the late game. So this will be 2.4 per minute over the time. And then these 3 items, if I combine them into a cauldron, which is what I'm going to do here, there we go. We combine it into coal, and then that gets us salt, which is also a sellable product, but it just accumulates so much. So this will be actually sitting out. This makes 300 over, so that's 12 per minute. So it makes 12 per minute. This is why this one is not really working full speed. Good. So that means this is the way that it works is that it just goes in, and then in here we have in the middle we have some of these filters, and they basically just split out each of those items. And you can see it's been running for a little bit of time. We have 7 of these. We got 12 of these. Remember, these are 7 gold each. But I'm going to save this because combining these 3 important gems will give us the Philosopher's Stone we need for the Eternal Essence, which we need for the soul. So we save that, but also use it for daily quests. All right, so let's take stock of the situation. The things we have to do today is we need to make Obsidian, we need to make Lapis Lazuli, and we need to make Quicksilver. And once we have those, it should be good. It's just combining it. So let's start with Obsidian. Yeah, the thing is, I don't actually want to start with Obsidian now that I think of it, because this Obsidian build here, we can do it. We can definitely make the unstable catalyst. We got a build for this. We got a way to do this. We can just use crystals and form it into shattered crystals, or we can use the shattered crystal we get from meteorite. This one's Obliviousness is super easy to make. So those are all simple to make. But the thing is, we are getting so much stockpile of Obsidian here that I'm just going to start using this and not care about the next step. So that's we will skip this part for now and then move on to the other part. So that means it is Lapis Lazuli and it is Quicksilver. So why am I looking at gold? Well, this is the Lapis Lazuli. So if I want to make Lapis Lazuli at 3 or 10 per minute, that means I need 3 of these builds. So if I look at 3 of these builds, then it's expensive, right? So I need to multiply this by 3. That's gentian powder here. If we look at how fast this one will consume a fertile catalyst, there, it's 4 seconds. So that means it's 15 per minute for 60 of this outbound. That means I need 30 fertile catalysts per minute just to keep this running. There's no way that's going to happen. I even built like a giant build over here just to make fertile catalyst, but this build is making 15 per minute. So I would have to have 2 of these just to keep this one going. So think of it like, okay, fertile catalyst, I need 2 of these builds, which are expensive. They cost about 44 silver per minute just to keep these 2 running. Insane. And that's one of the items. Then the next item, cheap as very cheap, but this one is then 10 impure silver, which is the same as 20 crude silver. If we look at this recipe here for silver, it's coming out here. We can get 15. So that means if I wanted that, I would want 4 of these for crude silver. And then we can start going a little bit deeper. So I need 4 of these. That means I need 4 times this one. Like the copper powder we could do. The unstable catalyst we could not do. We could not get 150 unstable catalyst in here. And this one we can also do because that's like a big black powder build. So, which just makes 38 per minute. So this is like perfect. This is perfect. Easy, but definitely not easy. 150 unstable catalyst per minute is a little bit overwhelming. Even though we have a good unstable catalyst build down here, then it is not actually producing very much. You can see it's producing 11.5 and it uses a lot of coin. But if I wanted this to scale up, then I'd have to have 12 of these running in parallel. That's also just a little bit absurd, and that just gets us to the silver. So that's no good. So you can see that there's a problem here with getting the crude silver. Of course, we'd also get a lot of silver powder that we could just make into silver coins, and then we'd probably make some of the money back, but that's not sustainable. So this is a problem. We need to get silver, but we need to find a different way to get silver. So let's look at a recipe here. This is a recipe I found out that we can do with crude silver. It makes 9.3. Yeah, it's not a great number, but it's a number. And it's copper and more copper. So these are dirt cheap, and then silver coins. The problem with using silver coins is that it stacks to 5,000. So when we put it in here, it'll be just having 5,000 sitting in here. I've come up with sort of an idea for how to do this in a different way. If I do this, this will take money and it will come out on one belt and a stack of 50. So a stack of 50 on a belt is times 120. That's 6,000 per minute. So that means this one can feed 6,000 silver coins in, which means that this one will be starved and only able to send 6 silver coins out. So 6 plus 6 plus 6, that's 18 silver coins. That's 2 of these builds. That gets us 18 crude silver powder per minute. That's a pretty good build, right? And this is a two setup build. So I think we want to try to build that one to start with, so we can have a steady supply of silver that doesn't cost too much. So here we have the build. I think it might work, but I have decided to abandon this idea of having multiple because I was simply not having enough room. I need to get a lot of stuff in here. So we're just going to have to accept that we have a lot of stockpile, but things will be expensive now. Here, and to get that one in. Everything will just be really expensive, but we're also just making a lot of money on top. So it might be worth it. It might be worth it. We'll just smash these in here just to get it going. Here, and then also some copper as well. Just get the copper in here, or copper coins. And that should be fine. Good. So that goes out. Half of it goes up directly in. That means it comes out as 10 of each here. So it's 40. 20 goes up here, which is enough to fill up these two. And then over on this side, it goes down and gets grinded. This grind is 10 per minute. So 2 of these, that means 1 for each cauldron. That should also be fine. And then this one will go out here as the slowest rate, which is 1 per minute, which means it comes out at 120 per minute, which is way more than it needs. And this means it will actually gradually fill up to 5,000 here and 5,000 here, which I absolutely loathe, but I can't prevent it in any way. If I could sort of have this one sort of process slower, then yeah, I would. But that's the design that I was looking at before, and I just didn't see that I could fit it in, and over time it would fill up anyway. So we're just gonna have to bite the bullet and accept that this will be a lot of stockpile of silver everywhere. But the good news is we also have like a really steady supply of 18 silver per minute. So that means now we can just stamp this build down and just say, all right, we got silver. Then the next part was, why do we want to get silver? Well, we wanted to get this one. So now we have solved or sort of removed the need for this. Then we can go into the Lapis Lazuli and say, okay, well, it's 18. That means it's actually 9 of these. For every build that I do of this, I can basically support one of these builds, almost. And then we have the gentian powder here. That means, do I really want these? But because I dislike this, because it also gets the gentian nectar. And if we look at it, the nectar is used exclusively for the aquavitae. Aquavitae is used exclusively for the panacea potions, which is nice and all. But it's also then used for the resonant crystals, which is something we just need 75 of. And once we have the 75, that's it. We don't need more. So it's not really used for much. And there's no way of converting this into value in any other way, which is, it bothers me that there's no sink for the aquavitae or no sink for the nectar. So yeah, and the world relief is not exactly a cheap thing. So I dislike this one. Dislike it very much. The other one, so I need to figure out how to do this, is let me just check if there should be a version of the Lapis Lazuli that comes from a cauldron instead. This thing is very interesting. So what we have here is a fertile catalyst, a nothing, and a polished crystal. Yeah, unfortunately, it has to be a polished crystal. There is no way that we can get the dull crystal, but the polished crystal is 2 steps up from a shattered crystal. So we basically need 4 shattered crystals to become 2 dull crystals to become 1 polished crystal, and then we got this. So basically this is corresponding to 4 shattered crystals, which is something we actually do have like a steady supply of. I mean, it's once we start burning through it, it disappears, but it's a thing. So, or we could actually also do it with steps like this. That would be starting from, this is the fertile catalyst that's being run out. Then starting from the shards here, we can do 4 steps of refinement. Then that would be like for each 1 polished, we need 2 dull, 4 shattered, and I have, and yeah, 4 shattered, dull shard. Oh, yeah, okay, so it's 1 more. Oh, man. Let's go down here. So when we get, in order to get 1 polished, we need 2 crude, 4 shattered, 8 dull, 16 broken, or 32 crude shards. 32 crude shards is basically half of one of these, which costs 44. So you could basically say it's cost maybe like 20 silver to get one. That's the value of one of these. The cost, not the value, the cost of one of these. You can also sort of say that it is a quarter of a diamond, and that's 100 here. So it's about 20 to 20 silver. So basically we're putting 20 silver in here, whatever this one's worth, and nothing. So I think that's totally doable. And we need 2 of these builds for the Lapis Lazuli to keep going. But it also means that I need to consume 10 of these per minute, which is not more than this one, but it's 2/3 of what this build is doing. So I think we need to build a design such as this, and the toughest part will be the polished crystals, how that's going to be set up. We need 10 polished crystals per minute. So here we have now the Lapis Lazuli build. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I will need to hook it up, and it is going to take, that's an absolute insane amount of money and everything else. This one will, the fuel will go in here for heating. The fertilizer will go up, go here, and go up to the top one. All of this, which I will then help just saturate a little bit so that it gets at least something going. Oh no, I know something I forgot. Oh, this is so important. Here, and you are gonna make these, and they'll be put out into a box here. Go, 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 go. There. And let me get that in there. Oh, damn. Yes, this is very important to get this. And also over here. And get more of this. And I think we're making it. And that one, and that one. Good. All right. I don't want to waste too much on filling this one up. Is it full? Not the last one, so I'm missing one. Good. All right. That works. Perfect. We'll take this one out. Okay, so now this goes in here. This will produce at 20 per minute. So that's going in here. This can process 20. So this should be working all the time. But I think this refiner is not great because it seems like break. There's a little bit of a break. So you can see this belt should be running smoothly all the time, but it's not. It goes in here. That means this one is producing at 40 per minute. So I get 40 per minute dull shards. That means 20 per minute of the shattered crystals. Which means, let me see, how is it? Output of this is 40 plus 40, so that's 80. Output of this one is 40. Output of this one here is 20. Output of this is 10. Output of this is 5. Ooh, but that's not enough. No, but I'm imagining that I get additional stuff coming in here. So that's the stuff I have from here. That will just throw in a lot of shards, because that's the storage, and that will then start having this one work at a much higher rate, which should for at least for a long time be able to support this to go out here and fill it up. And then maybe we might actually be in a position where this one fills up with Lapis Lazuli. That would be nice. What is the last thing that isn't coming in? Oh, right, that's this one. It's just the cheapest one, so I think we can manage this one as well. There we go. And we got the wood coming in. No reason to do anything about that. It's just coming in. And yeah, the fertile catalyst is also stacking up. So will the wood come in before? And come on, wood. You can do it. Where is it? It's coming in. Good. So the wood is there. 4.9 Lapis Lazuli. 4.9 Lapis Lazuli. It is expensive. But hey, it's a thing. It's a thing. So this means that we now have Lapis Lazuli. Anything going on here? Nope. Lapis Lazuli is coming out. Great. So we got silver, which you might at this point be like, why did he pick silver? Because he's not using it for anything. Well, there's something called Quicksilver. So Obsidian we got, let's say we got all of it except for the Quicksilver. So now the last thing we need to figure out is Quicksilver, which of course needs silver. So let's figure out how to make Quicksilver. It's going to be in one of these. Then on top of it, we're going to have this alembic. The alembic. There, and that's Quicksilver. So Quicksilver needs a lot of sulfuric acid. That means the build we did last time of sulfuric acid, we need 2 of those builds. Then we need some crude silver. We're producing it at 18, and this one requires at 15. Isn't that perfect? And then we need a vitality essence, which is just a it's just an oblivion essence that's been purified in a crucible. So that's not a problem. We just need any kind of thing that comes in, which is probably going to be this the stone. So that's also not a big deal. Which means we got this. We need 2 of the sulfuric acid builds, which means I need to build the sulfuric acid. I think I'll build the sulfuric acid build in here. But the thing is, this is producing 150. And how much do you need? You need 200, but I'm going to work at half speed. So this is perfect. So that means the first thing we need to do is build now 2 sulfuric acid builds. Yeah, I guess I'll build them down here and this way. This is the first of the builds getting done here. And again, lots of, this is using salt, and it's already starting to work on some of it. So that gets hooked up, and then that will start working slowly. And we'll get the sulfuric acid out here. So we'll just make 1 more next to it. And here's the second one. So with these 2 builds, they actually should have everything that we need in terms of sulfuric acid, which is not trivial. And we might also run out of fuel on this belt, which it looks like we are. Then we just add more fuel. We are not going to use the panacea potions, but that is an option. So from here, we're going to get the, let's have a look, the alembic. We just need the crude silver. We can get that, the vitality potion, and then this one. So that means we just need this one placed. I think I'll be building it over here because that's close to the sulfuric acid. This is actually a really small build we have to build here. So should be easy to build. We can also see how much of an issue we have with the lack of fuel. So we are definitely going to add another fuel build over there, I guess, soon. This is going in. This is very much not able to keep up. I could use panacea potions, but I don't think I can produce them fast enough as it is now. So yeah, we've also been just throwing a lot of stuff at this. So maybe there's also a little bit of just waiting for it to saturate a little bit. What we need to do is we get all of this. This will be just the Quicksilver, which we then have to go all the way over there, or maybe we just take this one a little bit closer because we have, this is the Lapis Lazuli. Over here we're actually getting the Obsidian, and then we get the 3 other locations here. So we're going to take this, the arcane shaper, and get it a little bit closer, and by a little bit I mean a lot closer. So I think that would be, might as well just build it in here, right? Let's build it here. That's a nice build. So we'll get all these things with hoppers. They are here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 solids and 1 liquid. So this liquid has to go in here to that one, and then these 2 have to go in here. So the pipes are now hooked up, and we are struggling with this part here. The fuel is still struggling. I am going to gracefully ignore that for a little bit. So we got the silver is here. Silver is bouncing over to this one, and then that will bounce into here. Let's see. The crude silver should be coming in. There we go. And we should be getting a little bit of Quicksilver out. Quicksilver goes out, and comes in here. Oh, no recipe set. We are going to do the mercury. Yay, we got the first thing. All right, let's start working on the next thing. This starting from the simplest thing. You're going to be going over to here because that's a tentative one, and that's going to go into, let's do the closer one. That's the turquoise, and the next one is malachite. Nope, topaz, and then it's malachite here. Malachite comes to number 3. This is the last one, the Lapis Lazuli, and then down here we have the obsidian that goes into a middle one and goes all the way up to there. Now that should actually be, look at that. Whew. How about that? We actually got it. Now all we need to do is wait, and then bounce this one all the way back to the shop. Here we are. This is almost done. 98%, 99%. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Looks absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and it's gone. Ta-da! Produce a mercury. And we are actually going to be popping it out. I am going to take it in here. There. Because I want this to go in there. Great. So, next one it'll start working and it'll get there. Now they are working continuously. So what I'm going to do is I am simply going to send it off. We're going to walk it all the way through here. Hopefully it works. Down there. Down there. I love the cannons. It's so nice. And ta-da! How much does it actually sell for? Goods, and it sells for 52. Plus we also get extra from everything else. So it'll be basically like 58 or something we'll get for this. So everything is costing a lot of money, but this is very valuable. All right, so let's see if our situation is like. We have lots of silver, which is good, but we have less gold because I have to convert some gold back again. So this is the gold coins. It's still enough. It's definitely still enough, and we're still making money from this. But now we're selling selling mercury and silver. So just the final step of the way, in which we'll be going next time, is heading towards the soul, which means we can slowly start working on all of these steps here. The arcane processor, going to stardust, fairy dust, moon cheer, in order to get the lunar. Once we get the lunar, it's just putting it together with all the other things. So basically next time we need to make the resonant crystals, the eternal crystals. We just need 5 of these, right? Yeah, 5. And then a single lunar for the single soul. Then we'll basically be calling it. That will be it for this playthrough, and then we will be focusing on Star Rupture from there. So thank you very much for watching. Remember, as usual, the blueprints that you see here, they are available to patron supporters. Some of them already are available, but we've also cleaned up some of these builds. Like, I think this Malachite build is way better than the previous version. Also, this one we already have. That one is not really relevant, as the sulfuric acid is there, but the silver one is really, really good. It's even... Actually, this is even valuable. 1 silver bar can make 5 silver coins. So if this is 1, then this, and we need 4 of these, that means that actually 4 silver will make a 1 silver bar, and a 1 silver bar will make 5 silver coins. So is this one less than 1 silver? Yes, absolutely. So this one is turning a net profit just from the silver itself. Just using this and just making it back into silver, it would actually turn a tiny bit of profit. So this is maybe excluding the fuel, but still very very nice. There was a blim. What is that blim? I don't know. Oh, that was the research completed. So we'll just continue on the research, and then I'll be seeing you in the next and final episode of this series. Oh no, there's something working. Oh no, how did that not work? Oh, because I was an idiot and had these disabled. Well, that's a silly thing. Good thing no one knows that, because I'll cut it out at the end of the episode, right? All right. Nope, I can't, because I have to say my line. Thank you very much for joining, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, take care and stay effective, everyone.